So I just got home from my philtrum piercing appointment and I wanted to give my first update. So here it is, especially from the side, you can see the bar. It has not swelled yet. I know it's going to swell a lot from what I've heard about piercings and just what I know about myself and the way that I swell, which I do. So it hasn't swelled up yet. It's 2 o'clock right now. And I got this around 12-ish. My appointment was at noon. So about 2 hours in, I haven't experienced any swelling. But this is where we're at as a starting point. But let me talk to you about kind of my experience getting it done, pain, the process, and all that jazz. So I went to Lucky's Tattoo and Piercing in Cambridge, and Heather was my piercer. So I got there at noon. And one thing I didn't actually realize was gonna take me so much time was figuring out what jewelry that I wanted. I feel like, it makes sense, especially because I sell jewelry for a living. You'd think I would have thought about that and all the different options that they would have. But I honestly didn't. I was just like not thinking that it was going to be like maybe that many options, or that I was gonna have a hard time like picking something out. But I was really overwhelmed, and in a good way. There's a lot of really nice jewelry options there. They had a section of titanium, which is at a little bit of a lower price point. And then they had the gold options. They had yellow gold, rose gold, and white gold at a little bit of a higher price point. The one I got is actually a cubic zirconia in white gold. There are so many different options though. Like I almost did a more like decorative option, but the reason I just picked the cubic zirconia is because I feel like it's a really classic style. Once it heals, I'll literally have the rest of the time that I have this piercing to play around with different jewelry. So I just stuck with a really classic cubic zirconia bezel set kind of stud. I did recommend at least 3 millimeters for this bead so that it stays on the outside. I was comparing it with a 2.2 just because they said I could do that one, but after speaking with my piercer and saying like proportionally what would look best maybe with my face, she recommended this size, and I like the way that it looks. I think it fits with my face, but that's why I picked this particular jewelry. While she was getting set up and cleaning up the area, she was explaining to me the cleaning process, which is essentially just taking like that saline solution and spraying it on the outside and the inside. And after that, she placed the little dot on my lip where it would go. And I checked it out in the mirror. It looked pretty good. I just opened my mouth a little wider than I have yet since having this piercing, and it like moved it. Like I could feel my mouth moving and like the jewelry pushing out a little bit, and that like hurt a little bit. But up until now, I haven't had like any pain at all. But let me get into the pain of the actual piercing. It wasn't pleasant, but it wasn't like excruciatingly painful. It was just a little pinch that I felt, and then it was over. I would just say it was really quick. It was just a little pinch, and then the jewelry was in, and it was all done. So I would say it wasn't a very bad process in terms of pain. And even like after the fact, like when I was driving away, and like right now, I said a second ago that it was hurting a little bit. It's back to not hurting like at all. It just does feel like there was something in my lip. Like I could feel it when I'm talking, and sometimes I could feel like that. I could feel the bottom of it like against my gums and like the inside of my lip, but it's not painful. It's just that I could feel something there, if that makes sense. My belly button was 100% worse in my opinion. Everybody's pain tolerance is different, but for me, getting my philtrum was not too painful on the way that I would scale it. But that's it. I'm actually just gonna run out right now to get some new like Listerine. I want to get some alcohol-free Listerine because I asked my piercer about if I can use mouthwash, not to like clean my piercing. I know some people use mouthwash to like clean away like food and debris and bacteria from the inside. She recommends just like saline and more natural things, but I just meant in general because I use mouthwash when I brush my teeth. I just wanted to know if I could still use my mouthwash, and she recommended alcohol-free, which I have seen online too, to just be a little bit careful of Listerine because it can dry out your piercing. So she mentioned getting alcohol-free. So I'm just gonna run out and get some alcohol-free Listerine or any type of mouthwash. And then I also have some H2 Ocean to clean it. But that is basically it for right now for my first update. Again, here's what it looks like 2 hours after getting it. and I'm already so happy. I think it's so cute. I'll check in probably later tonight because I'm sure I'll have swelling at that point. And then probably once a day or once every couple of days as time goes on, just to monitor my progress. But here it is. I have my philtrum pierce and I'm obsessed. So I'll see you guys soon. Okay, it is now 10:20, same day. And this is what my lip currently looks like. I feel like I am starting to notice a little bit of swelling, but it kind of just looks like I got my lips done a little bit, which I'm not mad at. I've had a couple instances where if I was like moving the jewelry by mistake, like if I was talking or if I moved my mouth a weird way, that it kind of like made the jewelry move in my mouth a little bit, and that kind of was a little painful, but it lasts for just like literally that second where I'm like, ooh, that kind of moved in a weird way, and then it's fine. One thing that I'm noticing is that I can feel the bar on the inside of my mouth rubbing against my gums just a little bit. I mean, it's kind of to be expected. I have a really long bar in right now to compensate for the swelling, so it is just kind of rubbing a little bit. I feel like you could definitely see probably less of that bar. So there's for sure been a little bit of swelling, not nearly as bad as I've seen it get for people, but I'm just waiting for it to happen because it's bound to happen. Probably when I wake up in the morning, it's gonna look like a whole duck bill, but as of right now, it's fine. I haven't taken any ibuprofen or anything. I did pick up some chamomile tea from the grocery store because my piercer said that moist chamomile tea bags are really good for swelling. So I have those on deck too for whenever I need them. She also said that you can ice. I, again, haven't really felt the need to ice ibuprofen or use the chamomile tea bags yet. This is a random struggle too, and if you don't use straws, this doesn't really apply, but I use a straw every time I drink when I'm eating dinner, and I have one of like the glass straws, and they're kind of thick if you've seen them. I cannot drink from my straw, and it's driving me crazy. Like, for some reason, it's like the little things that you don't realize that you take for granted when you have like a normal functioning mouth and not a piercing there that's healing. But I can't like make that on a straw and like suck from it. And it's really bumming me out. That's just a random little struggle that I faced tonight that was kind of mildly frustrating. But aside from that, everything else was pretty much normal in terms of like eating and drinking. I've already been online looking at different jewelry like for this top portion because I'm just like so excited to be able to switch it out and like have different designs and stuff like that. One thing I love doing, and let me know if this is something that you're doing with my video, but anytime I get a piercing or I get something done, like when I got my tonsils taken out or like literally anything that I'm gonna go through, like a tattoo, I love watching people on YouTube do vlogs and like talking about their experience because it makes you feel like you're not alone, even if the video was from like 4 years ago, and like they understand the struggle, and like I don't feel as alone in it. So if you're watching this and you're going through healing your philtrum piercing, you're not alone. We've all gone through it, so you got this. But that's it for now. I don't think I'll probably need to check in again tonight unless there's some crazy swelling that happens before I go to bed, but I will definitely check in when I wake up and see what that overnight swelling situation looks like. We're on day 2, or I don't know if you would consider this 1 or 2. I got it done yesterday. So I guess that's day 1. This is day 2 of having my philtrum pierced. I'm sorry if you hear my coffee brewing. I'm late for work, so I gotta do 2 things at once, but this is what my lip is looking like. I actually am really surprised I don't have more swelling because I'm a sweller. Again, knock on wood. I don't want to have this like be really bad tomorrow or the day after because I'm actually getting my engagement photos on Sunday. I know it was really stupid. I didn't actually plan it this way. They were supposed to happen, but it got postponed, and then it just happened to be after I got my piercing. But hopefully it's not terrible by then. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to edit this shit out of my face because it's a huge bar. But I'm hoping for the best. And call me delusional, but I kind of am loving the way that it looks mildly swollen. Like, I feel like it makes my lips look more proportional because my upper lip is always a little bit smaller than my bottom lip, and that's always bothered me. So I feel like they look really proportional now. I don't know, let me know what you think, but this is where it's at. I've had no pain, I've had no problems with it. I've just been cleaning it. When I have a little bit more time and maybe my next check-in, I'll talk a little bit about how I've been cleaning it. But I'm running out the door now to work, but this is what it looks like. Day 2. The afternoon of day 3, And my lip has definitely swollen on the top, but it's come down a little bit. You will have seen the clip of me from this morning, which my piercer did warn me about overnight swelling, which is why I was kind of surprised I didn't get much swelling from the first night into the second night. But last night I definitely got a lot of swelling in my upper lip. I have gotten my lips done once, and my upper lip swelled like nothing else. So it's kind of reminding me of when I got my lips done, but I like the way that my lips looked like when they were just done. So I'm kind of liking the way my lips look now. There maybe is like the slightest bit of a lisp that I hear still, and it's just because I can feel the bar on the inside of my lip. It's not because it like hurts or anything, or I'm trying to limit movement anymore. I was originally trying to not move my lips around as much just out of fear that I would disrupt the piercing, but I'm not even trying to be careful with it in terms of like speaking. All movement is back. I just feel like I hear the littlest bit of a lisp because of the bar rubbing against my gums, which should go away as soon as this heals enough to put in a shorter bar. So this is where we're at right now, day 3. This is a pretty late update right now. It's about 1:30 in the morning on day 4, but it's technically 12:30 because it's daylight savings time, and I'm just gonna count that extra hour that we're getting for this video. But regardless, it is day 4. My dog just had the biggest yawn. She's so annoyed that I'm up right now still, but just wanted to quickly do an update on my lip. You can definitely see that the bar is filled out a little bit more from the swelling in my lip. It still is a little bit swollen, but I feel like it doesn't look too noticeable, at least as much as yesterday. Yesterday was definitely the worst in terms of swelling that I've experienced so far. I, knock on wood, have yet to catch it on my teeth when eating. I've been super aware of it while I'm eating and while I'm talking, and not taking like massive bites or like opening my mouth too far. I just don't want to risk it getting caught on my teeth. And my bangs are looking crazy right now. Sorry, I keep tucking them behind my ear, but like growing out your bangs is so annoying. So sorry I keep doing that, but this is what my lip looks like right now on the end of day 4. Hello, and it is Sunday. I got my philtrum pierced on Wednesday, and this is what my philtrum looks like. You can see it definitely has come down with the swelling by a lot as compared to the past couple days. I'm supposed to get my engagement photos done today, but my hair came out really fucking ugly. I went to a salon and they curled it for me and it didn't come out good at all. And there was just a lot of other factors, and my fiance and I ended up canceling or just rescheduling. It was just my friend who was gonna take the pictures, and we had to reschedule once already. So I was just like, it doesn't work. And she was like, I totally get it. I sent a picture of my hair. She's like, I totally get it. So we postponed it, which is just like another little funny story, but I don't even care. It gives my lip a chance to unswell a little bit more. Once it's not swelling overnight anymore, my piercer said that that's when I could come in and get it switched out to a shorter bar. And she kind of recommended 3 weeks to come in and get it swapped out, because the overnight swelling is what gets people. So during the day, like right now, it looks really nice, but it will still swell overnight. I'm going to follow those recommendations probably in like the 3 weeks that she said. I'll come in and get it swapped out for a shorter bar, but I think most of the swelling is basically gone, and I'm obsessed with it. I think it looks so cute. I definitely will get some new jewelry. I'm really excited to play around with different types of stones or like maybe different metals. If I wanted to switch out and do like gold one day, I'm definitely a silver girl, but if I ever wanted to switch out and do a gold moment, I do have some gold jewelry. I like the idea of being able to switch it around, but this is what it looks like today. Again, no pain, haven't caught it on anything yet, luckily. One thing that I haven't mentioned before that's kind of annoying and a little bit of an inconvenience that I haven't talked about yet is blowing your nose. Blowing your nose is kind of hard because you don't want to get like boogers like in your piercing. So I've just been very careful with it. I kind of have been using like a Q-tip if it's like something, or like holding it like above where my piercing is and then blowing, but I don't want to knock it or rub it or have like snot get in my piercing. Like it's just really gross. But anytime I have to blow my nose afterwards, I'll just like rinse it with water or with my little H2 Ocean, which I forgot to describe what I've been doing to clean it. Let me do that now. How I've been cleaning it is twice a day. So at morning when I wake up, and then at night, what I'll do is I'll take H2 Ocean, which I just get off of Amazon. You could get any type of like saline solution spray, and I'll just spray both the outside and the inside. I like to do the inside as well, just because my piercer recommended that. I also do have non-alcohol Listerine that I use as well, but mostly just because I use that for my teeth. I haven't noticed any crusties or anything weird. I've had a really easy healing for this so far. So I've had a really wonderful experience. I'll continue to update you guys as I go. But let me know if you have also got this piercing, how yours was come day 5, like I'm at. And I'll see you guys in my next update. It is day 6, and this is what my philtrum is looking like. Almost no swelling when I woke up this morning, I feel like. I don't really feel like I have a lot of swelling now. Sorry, that is my blinker. This is what my philtrum is looking like. I feel like I didn't really have almost any swelling this morning. I mean, maybe just a little bit, but by now it's like almost completely gone. So I am feeling really good about it. Still no crusties. There have been no significant changes. It honestly has been one of the easiest piercings that I've gotten so far. And I don't know, I feel comfortable saying that because typically when I've heard about other people talking about their philtrum piercing, the worst of it would have already happened if it was going to happen. So I just think all around that this is a pretty easy piercing. Hello everybody, it is Thursday. And I just remembered that I forgot to do an update yesterday because I was really busy. We finally took our engagement photos and they came out so good. Well, I didn't actually get them yet, but we got our actual engagement photos taken and our photographer showed us on his camera and they were looking so good. My dog's coming down to join us, but that's why I was really busy. We ended up going out to eat afterwards and I didn't do an update. So today's my update and I actually do have an update. So this is the first time since I've gotten my philtrum pierced that I have experienced the dreaded crusties. Yes, I thought I was going to escape it because it seemed to be healing really, really well. But yesterday was the first day that I got crusties on my piercing, which is really fucking gross. But that's a reality of getting a piercing. What that looked like for me was I noticed like some pain on it, which was not really usual because I really got little to no pain on my piercing whatsoever throughout the process so far. But what was happening was there was like a little crusty, that sounds so fucking gross, but there was a little piece like on the actual bar. So when it was like moving, when I was moving my mouth, it would kind of hurt because it would hit that piece and it wouldn't just go through my lip. And that's kind of what's going on now. I don't really want to like zoom in to show you, but yeah, you could totally see. This is literally just from today, not cleaning it yet. I am going to be cleaning it now. Obviously, I clean it only twice a day just because I don't want to over clean. So I do it once in the morning and once at night before bed. I'm about to go clean it off right now. That's basically the only update. Aside from that, no swelling anymore. It's just that little bit of what I'm experiencing now. So that's basically it. I will definitely, again, continue to update if anything changes. But this is kind of the stage of healing that we're in right now. Literally, I just got back in my car from getting the bar and my philtrum piercing switched out to a shorter one that actually fits my mouth. So here's what it looks like from the side. Oh, it just like sits in perfectly, and this is what I wanted. I'm so excited. I did do it a little early. My piercer told me to wait 3 weeks, and it'll be 3 weeks on Wednesday. It's Monday right now, but I have a session on my back piece on Wednesday, so I couldn't go Wednesday. And then Thursday is Thanksgiving, and I have to see my parents, and I just don't want to hear it. I feel like it looks better when it actually fits and looks the way it's supposed to versus when I have this really long bar hanging out. So for those reasons, I went a little early. It honestly wasn't a big deal because it pretty much is healed. I know people are probably gonna yell at me for saying that because it does take a long time for piercings to actually heal. It's not actually healed, but it's not swelling, and I'm having no pain, no flakes anymore. The flaky stage and like the crusty stage is done. And I also am not waking up with swelling. That's the biggest thing that my original piercer said is you want to make sure that it's not still swelling when you're sleeping. And I woke up this morning and I double checked that it wasn't swollen, and it wasn't. It's just like, it was perfect. One thing I will say about this new shorter bar is that this particular piercing, the disc in the back is actually a little smaller than the other one. You thought it was over. I thought it was over. It's not over. I have an update for you guys because we had some things happen between the last video you saw and now, and I just wanted to give give an update and explain what happened. The last clip that you saw was me switching out the bar for a shorter one. I just went to a local place just because I was really nervous about doing it myself. Anything with like ears and stuff, I feel like I'm fine because I know how to work with that. But when it comes to my mouth, I was a little anxious about taking it out for the first time, maybe not being able to get the jewelry back in, having it not be good. I was just worried about doing it myself. So I wanted to go to a piercing shop, but I didn't want to have to drive all the way back down to Boston where I got it pierced. So I found a local piercing shop and I just thought it might be easy to just go in there. One of my coworkers recommended it. So I went in and I got the jewelry changed to a 5/16. Sorry, I keep jiggling the camera around. I'm just holding it right now. I'll try to be steady. But I went there and they switched it to a 5/16, which is pretty standard when it comes to healed piercings. Mine was still really new, like it was barely a month. I know people say you should usually wait like 6 to 8 weeks before you switch it out to a smaller jewelry, but my particular piercer who pierced me said 3 weeks would be okay for it. So I thought I would go in and try to get it switched as you guys saw, and it worked out originally, but I did mention that the disc on the inside of my lip felt small and it was almost getting like eaten up from my lip. So I just got really anxious and I wanted to switch it back to the longer bar in the meantime, just in case it would embed and like get lost in my lip. I was just not about that. I think you can probably have a smaller disc like that, maybe if it's completely healed, but I didn't even know that they made discs that small. Like I thought it was standard to have like a 4mm disc on the inside, which is what I was pierced with. I kept trying to feel it on the inside of my lip with my tongue, and it was bothering me and making me a little stressed out that I couldn't really feel it that much. And I knew I wanted to switch it just in case. I was just worried about it embedding, not fitting properly, having to get it surgically removed. It was just a lot going on in my head, and I thought it would be best to switch it back to the original jewelry. I did try to order a post myself on, I believe it was like Urban Body Jewelry. I bought a 5/16 with a 4mm back. And even when I got that, I feel like in my head, I was not making it worse for myself, but I was just making myself stressed out, and I was really paranoid after that first experience of worrying if it was too tight. And I thought even when I put it in, it felt a little snug. So rather than just wasting time and money and trying different lengths and different size, this or that, I just thought I might as well just go back to my original piercer, even though it's quite a drive. It's like a 50-minute drive all the way out there. It's like, honestly, it's just worth going to her and having her fit me for one and knowing it'll be the right size. So I drove all the way out today. I did get fit for a 5/16 with a 4mm back, which is hilarious because, like I said, I bought that one from Urban Body Jewelry and I convinced myself it was too small, but this one feels perfect. Literally when she put it on, it felt great. I'm definitely happy that inside is still a 4mm, so it doesn't feel like it's getting sucked into my lip at all. But when my piercer was talking to me, she really stressed, like, make sure if it feels like it's disappearing in your lip, like, we'll talk about it. Let me know when you might have to size up again. So I feel really good in the fact that I noticed that and I switched it just in case, because it could have been really bad. It might look a little swollen right now because I was fiddling with it. I feel like I always do that. I just wanted to see if I could put the other jewelry in because I feel like I like the jewelry that I had on when I went to the other piercing shop. But I put that one on and it felt really tight. So I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's because it's a lot wider that it feels like it's tighter. But it was really, really tight. Even just going through like the threadless piece, it kind of got stuck and it was hard for me to take off. But I got scared after putting it on and it feeling tight that I just took it out and I put this one back in. I'm so annoying. I also put my little studs in my nose because I thought that looked kind of cute, like 2 and then 1. And then I have this fucking pimple on the side of my mouth. So it's like I have 4, but this is what it looks like right now. I'm really happy with it. I'm happy I did go back and see my original piercer, more so for just a peace of mind. So long story short, if you're having some issues with figuring out your size, I would recommend going to a reputable piercer. I don't think the piercer that I went to that was local to me was very good because that disc was really small. I was worried it was going to embed, and yeah, I don't think that's the best. I did try to go back and get it swapped out for a 4mm disc, and I don't even know if they had any with 4mm. They said that's just the ones that they get, like that's what they look like. So I just have this other small one. I'll insert a video so you guys can see the difference, but look how small that disc is on the back. Like, no wonder my lip was eating it up. Now I'll just finish off this whole journey by saying, if you're on the fence about getting this piercing and you're watching this because you're trying to figure out if you should get it or not, I highly recommend it personally. I've wanted this piercing for years. It was one of the easiest piercings I got to in terms of like the healing process. So I definitely recommend it if it's something that you've been thinking about. But that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for anybody who stuck around and watched, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.